Welcome to Coastal Compass, allegedly a podcast. We're going to talk with Taste of Fairhope's Jennifer Galloway.
All right, Jennifer, thanks for coming on. I do want to get into all the foodie stuff because the folks that do watch this know I'm a bit of a foodie, and Jason, poor Levi, not here. But tell us where you're from.
I am from Fairhope, born and raised Fairhope girl.
All right. Did you ever live anywhere else?
Briefly, I lived in New Orleans and Birmingham, but we're talking max a year.
So one cool town in damn near Canada, pretty much. It snows in Birmingham.
It does.
It's a beautiful place.
It's Canadian. It's good enough. So you came back here.
Yeah.
Hometown. 3 kids. They're all up and almost all up and gone. When y'all go out and do stuff, where do y'all go? As like little kids, big kids? I mean, or just living in town right now, where would you take them?
One of the places that we've been frequenting is Nini Squares.
We've been there. That is really good stuff.
Yeah.
Fill me in. What is it?
Oh, you haven't been yet?
No.
Oh, gosh.
Come
Get
on.
on top of it.
Well, I mean, it's like right next to your house, dude.
No excuses, Chris.
Do what?
Yeah. It's
there on the corner of Magnolia and Bancroft.
Oh, that's the pizza joint.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they also have pasta.
I haven't tried the pasta yet.
Yeah, my wife loves it. Deborah loves the pasta. She thinks it's great.
Oh, I've heard nothing but good stuff out of it.
Very cool
Yeah.
place.
I would
Right,
say
so
that's top where we go right now, just because it's easy in and out. It's inexpensive.
Okay.
Very reasonable.
Yeah. It's very reasonable. And the food's good. And the staff is really nice, too. Like, that's consistent and kind.
There you go. All right.
Those
So for those of us that don't know the street names yet, it's behind the library.
Behind the library.
Yeah.
That's exactly
And where most of us got our title done on our house whenever we bought a house.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
But
that's
they've done an amazing job with that building.
cool.
It's impressive.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Get them on. Okay. Who else we got?
We should.
Let's see. We go to one of my favorite breakfast places, Warehouse.
Coffee's good.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee drinker, but everything I've ever had from there is wonderful.
Okay. So that was the baker that was in the Windmill Market.
Yep. Years ago,
And
Jennifer
and
Hafner.
Jennifer, yeah. And this has been years ago when she moved over here. Donuts.
I don't think I've ever eaten a single donut from there.
I haven't either. I've always other things have intrigued me more than a donut.
Kolaches are top notch. I mean, that's kind of our go-to thing there.
Have you gone and tried the what do they calling it? Donut Days at the barn at Hope Farm.
No.
On Saturday and Sunday, they do like 3 different types of donuts. And they're like one that we've gotten there had a brulee top, and so you had to crack it, and then it was I think banana cream pie filling.
Okay.
So these are like dessert,
Right.
I mean, these are
Yes.
fancy donuts.
Yes.
Fancy
Well, I mean,
donuts.
they are
Well,
at
it's the
the
Hope
barn.
Farm.
I mean, what do you expect?
God,
the
man,
whole
everything I have there is fantastic. I love it. All
Yeah.
right. Now that's getting into what we want to talk about. So the food tours.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, I never would have thought that I would have found my favorite job at this age, but it has been an absolute joy. This past July was a year since I started with them.
Okay.
And I didn't make it to any of my tours this weekend, had some things come up, and I actually had FOMO because I've become friends with all the people in the restaurants.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I get excited about meeting people from all over the place that come and do the tours. So I just felt like I was missing out on something when I didn't do mine this weekend.
All right. So where do you mainly take your tour?
Well, on the Foodie tour, it's set
Okay.
the way that we do it, and we start at Provision,
All right.
and then we go from Provision to Bay Breeze,
Okay.
and then we go from Bay Breeze to Panini Pete's,
All right.
and then we take a little breather from the food because that's about when people are starting to go, I'm getting full. So we go to Happy Olive.
Okay.
And they do a olive oil tasting and a vinegar tasting.
That's cool.
And then we go to Dragonfly, and we finish up at Mr. Jean's Beans.
All right, so...
And this is a walking tour, right? You walk every place. Because
Yeah.
all these places are right downtown Fairhope, so it's an easy
absolutely.
walk.
Right, and we stop along the way at different places and talk about history.
Okay.
And so, we
Like real
we meander
history
for
or
3 hours. Real history.
like when you were in high school and hanging out downtown?
I do add some little facts like that.
Okay.
I do.
Those are cool.
I do add some fun facts. And I am encouraged by my boss, Chris, to do that. No, not you, Chris.
No,
My
yeah,
Chris.
no. Yeah,
Listen, we don't want to talk about what Chris has done, especially if you're passing like the bone and barrel, or me either, really.
Well, we don't talk about
We
that
don't-
either.
Let's just move on
All
past
right,
the bone.
so I was a good boy in high school.
Yeah, nobody believes that, but all right. Whatever.
That's why I was looking to you to see what your facial expression was.
Right. So the thing is called the Taste of Fairhope. And it is every Friday and Saturday.
Every Friday and Saturday is our, it's on the books for us from 2 to 5, Friday and Saturday. But then if we have any groups that are coming in and it's in the middle of the week and they just want to book privately, we always try to accommodate that.
Okay.
And then if we have conferences down at the Grand Hotel, we accommodate those as well.
All right, that makes
And
sense.
so if you have a business that says, hey, we want to do this as a little get together for our, how many people does it take to make a group, and what's your max on the number?
Our max, we try to keep it at 16. But I believe it's either 6 or 8 is the minimum that if
Okay.
you want to book. So it's perfect for office parties, like the office Christmas parties and stuff like that.
Sure.
It's a good opportunity for team building. But yeah, we have a good time, and I've met people even from outside of our country on it. So.
All right, well, that was the next question. Where's the majority of people coming from, and where's some of the cool places they've come from?
The majority are from Louisiana. We have a lot of Louisiana folks. So when I have Louisiana folks, especially New Orleans folks, that go on the tour and are pleased with their experience and love the food, then that's a hats off because they have some good food there.
Yeah, they do.
So Louisiana, Mississippi, some Georgia, Florida,
Okay.
Tennessee. So, but then we have them from California. We've had the farthest. Actually, I had somebody from Oregon the other day, but the absolute farthest I've had a guest from is Spain,
Okay.
which was intimidating whenever we were taking somebody from Spain who grows olives into the Happy Olive. But
That makes sense, yeah.
he loved it. So,
Of course. The walk's not that big of a deal around here.
no.
You should probably get... Do you see a tick when the weather's awesome? Tick
Yes,
up?
definitely. And but you would have thought that the heat during the summer would deter people, but I mean, not really. Now, towards the end of the summer when people are trying to get settled with school starting, it
Right.
maybe slowed down a little bit, but no, I've done tours in 114 heat index, and I've done tours in 32-degree weather.
So you lead each tour?
We have other tour guides, but for the most, I'm pretty much always the Friday girl because our other tour guide, Parker, is a school teacher. So she'll do Saturdays, but she's also young and unattached and travels a lot. So I end up doing Saturdays quite a bit too. And then when we have a moment when both myself and Parker are unavailable, our boss, Chris, will come over from Mobile and he'll cover it.
Show up hungry.
But yeah, show up hungry. And honestly, the walks are not strenuous. So I don't even say wear your tennis shoes or anything like that because it's,
Fairhope's pretty flat.
yeah.
Especially right here downtown.
Our longest trek is when we go from Provision to Bay Breeze.
Yeah.
That's the
makes sense.
longest. But other than that, it all is pretty close together.
Yeah, because once you hit Bay Breeze, everything's pretty much Delamar.
Right.
Right.
And then, along the way, we're stopping. We stop at the museum and talk a little bit of history. We used to stop at the clock and talk a little bit of history there.
Yeah, but it'll be back.
I know, but it'll be back. But I go across the street and still talk about the clock and the pharmacy.
Okay.
So it's not like we start at provision and don't stop at all. We have some stopping points along the way.
So how do people find you?
They go to tastefairhope.com.
Pretty blunt, pretty easy.
Pretty simple. And we'll have all that in the description.
Yeah.
And your Instagram and your Facebook. We'll have all those down below in this description. So they can certainly. And each tour starts at 2:00.
Yes.
And what time does it end? How long does it take?
5. It's a
about
3
hour,
3 hour tour.
There you go.
All right.
I
At least you
haven't
don't
lost
get
anyone yet.
Yeah. At least you're not getting lost. Not in Fairhope. You're not getting lost.
I do take people through unexpected alleys, and I make jokes about how trusting they are.
During holidays, like we got coming up Thanksgiving and Christmas, do y'all do special things for those?
Yeah, we do different theme tours. Our goal is to have some kind of theme tour every month, but then we also have some in the works for the holidays. Hopefully I hate to even say it in case it doesn't come through, but we're hoping that we're going to do a trolley tour that will do some of the restaurants outside of the walkable distance.
Okay.
Because the goal is to try to bring in as many restaurants in our community. Just like when we do the cocktail crawl, they're different than the foodie tour.
Okay.
Because we have a cocktail crawl that we do during the summer. We had it for a few Fridays in a row, but right now it's kind of leaning more towards about once a month we have one. So we had the haunted cocktail crawl in October, and then in September I conned my boss into letting me do a Roper Romp, caftans and cocktails crawl.
I have no idea.
Mrs. Roper from the Three's Company.
Yes.
So we were all dressed in caftans and red wigs
Okay.
and did our tours.
That's awesome.
So, all right, give me the bars on the tour.
Monkey Bar,
Yeah.
and that's where we always start. And then we go to Pearl
Okay.
Yes.
and Sean's.
Yeah.
And then we've kind of changed up. At one point during the summer, we would end at Fairhope Chocolate. We have ended before at Provision.
So it's about 3 or 4 cocktails per tour. Okay.
It's 4 cocktails.
I'm gauging myself. See what I.
Four
if I can
cocktails,
make
but we
it.
also do a little bit of food. So we're not just,
Slamming on back.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
But that's pretty cool. I mean, that's one of the things we do here. I don't know if you got to see one of our Raising the Bar episodes where we go into a bar or a restaurant and they make a cocktail for us with with one of their bartenders. And Henry was very nice. He did one for our Elijah Craig week at the Monkey Bar, and it was a lot of fun. And so we're gonna have to get in touch with these others, like Sean's for sure.
Oh, we
Absolutely.
had he was into it. Sean comes out there. We had a couple of tours that, like, one, he came out there and was very interactive. He was helping mix the drinks.
Nice.
Okay.
He was having cocktails with our group.
Oh, that's just-
All right, it gets a little crazy. It gets a little crazy.
It
right
was
there.
fun though. It was
I'm
so much
sure.
fun. Fairhope's growing.
It is. And it's all right. It's
Yeah.
okay. You know, I mean, I think the city council's doing all right. The mayor's doing fine.
Yes, I'm. The mayor was my babysitter when I was growing up, so I'm quite fond of her.
There you go.
I actually talk about her on the tour, but yeah, Fairhope's grown a lot. And I've had this discussion with somebody on my tour before about, the whole concept if you don't grow, you die. Mm-hmm. And because we were talking about watching Fairhope grow, like I've been able to see over my 48 years, but he had come from a hometown that did not
Right.
keep growing, and he said it is so sad to go back and see places that are shuttered and closed down. And
You're not going to drive through downtown Fairhope and see businesses shuttered up. I mean,
Right.
there are a couple, but those buildings are being renovated.
Right.
And something's coming.
yeah,
That's unusual.
it's good, and we have so much more here than when I was growing up. I mean, it's
Sure.
it's such an amazing place.
Tell us again how to get in touch with Taste of Fairhope. I know we can look down and all that, but
Well, for information, I mean, our Facebook and Instagram page are Taste of Fairhope, and they stay very much updated with everything that we have going on.
Right.
But the website to book is tastefairhope.com. We stick to pretty much the same restaurants. If there's ever a need, like if one restaurant's closed for a private event, we'll pull from one of our other restaurants that like we work with the cocktail crawl and work with them. And make up for the space. So like at Provision, we do the avocado West Indies toast.
Yep.
And then we can talk about that, how, West Indies salad is regional. And I give the history of Bill Bailey, who developed it. And then at Bay Breeze, we always do their corned bisque.
Oh, yeah.
And the grown-up grilled cheese. And, of course, at Panini Pete's, we do paninis and beignets. So, but that we never know for sure which panini we're having, but we know we're having a panini.
Okay.
And then Dragonflies, pretty much always firecracker shrimp tacos and turnip fries. So it's things that each place, it's a showcase
It's their
of
little,
what they do.
Yeah.
And then Fairhope Float at Mr. Gene's Beans. So
Of course. I love
Yeah.
those floats. On your Facebook page, will it say, okay, we're sold out for that date, or is that something you go and try to book? And then
when you go and try to book.
that's when it'll let you know.
Yeah. And I mean, we have been known to squeeze in a few more. Like the largest group I've had is 19. So like if it's a family with just a couple more, we can accommodate and make it work.
So can you sign up the day of?
Yes. Until 10 a.m. the day of the tour
Okay.
is when it closes and is considered done, and you can't add in any.
Tour on the Fairhope, Taste of
of Fairhope.
Fairhope tour, you do have cocktails with the food that are paired.
If you purchase a cocktail package, you
Okay.
get 3 cocktails along the way.
There you go. That'll work.
Fantastic.
So really, I mean, the only difference between the foodie tour and the cocktail crawl is there's one more cocktail on the cocktail and there's less food.
Okay. Gotcha. It still sounds fun.
And
I'm
it's
looking forward.
it's a little bit shorter, but not a lot.
Okay.
You know, we'll have people come over from New Orleans, and there's always that argument between New Orleans and Mobile.
Yeah.
But it started in Mobile.
Yes, and then the professionals showed up and took care of it from there.
You better not say that around the wrong crowd.
Hey,
Listen, every week he offends somebody. Every
yeah,
week,
absolutely.
It's an
Wow.
offensive.
And the thing is, I've ridden in Fairhope parades, Mobile parades, New Orleans parades.
Oh, wow.
Monroe parade. I mean, I haven't ridden in Lafayette or Baton Rouge, but I've ridden in parades. They're a blast no matter where you're
Yeah.
doing it. I mean, it is fun to ride in a parade. It's fun to go to a parade, especially with kids. And down here in Fairhope, the parades
It's perfect.
it's so perfect.
It's so family friendly, and everybody's nice, and
Sometimes
kids
you
are
get
safe.
sometimes you get the people from like the
Other
I states. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Midwest. And they think the beads mean something, and they kind of fight for them. But
Yeah, seeing adults fight kids for throws is, that's some
it's a
next
little
level
embarrassing.
stuff.
But
TasteFairhope.com, reasonably priced, a lot of
Yes.
fun.
Very, very well worth the price.
Be sure to
Everybody
get-
leaves stuffed.
Be
All
sure
right,
to get the
cool.
cocktail package.
Yeah.
Got to get
Package.
the cocktail package. Got to have it. Jennifer, thank you so much for coming in.
course.
We
I
appreciate
enjoyed
it.
it.
yeah,
and,
absolutely. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for asking me.
and we appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching Coastal Compass, allegedly a podcast. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. That really helps us out, and we appreciate your time. If you'd like to be a guest on here, just look down in the description and get in contact with Chris or myself. Our information is down there. Again, thank you so much. Like and subscribe.